This is The Big Story presented by herbchambers.com.
I'm Scott Helman, political editor of the Boston Globe. Tomorrow is Election Day. Finally, this long, wild, crazy campaign for every elective office in Massachusetts, or just about, comes to an end. One thing that we'll be looking for, of course, is turnout. We'll be looking to see how Democrats do versus Republicans, who's coming to the polls, what towns are they coming from, what districts are they coming from the cities, from the small towns, from out in Western Mass, down on the Cape. There's lots of stuff to watch for. And the reason that it's important is because you have sort of two forces this year kind of competing against each other. On one hand, you have the Democrats' ground operation, their get out the vote operation, which they have, of course, honed for years in this state. Deval Patrick won in 2006 in large part because he had a terrific ground game. He had tons of volunteers and field staff, and they really got people to the polls, including a lot of new voters who had never participated before. And so you're going to see Democrats, not only Patrick, but Democrats beyond just him, try to sort of recreate that, try to get their people to the polls. The trouble this year is that polls suggest that a lot of Democratic voters are dispirited. They don't like what's going on politically. They've been reading the papers and watching the news about how Republicans are on the ascent. And that typically makes them less happy, less excited about the election. And therefore, pollsters say and analysts say that often means that those people will not vote, or that they will not vote in greater numbers. That speaks to this enthusiasm gap that we have talked a lot about this campaign. Republican voters are in general much more excited, much more amped up about what's going to happen, not just in Massachusetts, but nationally. A multitude of polls have shown this. So you can really think about this election as the Republicans' enthusiasm versus the Democrats' ground game. Can the Democrats get their disaffected, dispirited, whatever you want to call them, voters out tomorrow? And how will that sort of counteract, or can it even counteract, the excitement, the enthusiasm on the Republican side of the aisle?